ready in just a moment. Great. So welcome Irma in Houston. Welcome Betsy in Montana. Welcome Denisa in Trinidad. Welcome Sandy in Waco, Texas. There we go. Welcome Rosie in England. Sister Bless in London. Adrian in Ireland. Sandy in Ontario. Pat in New Jersey. Adam and Erica in Kauai. Hello, hello. Nancy in Minnesota. Christina in Ontario. Clarity in Wales. Sue in Baltimore. You're very close to me, Sue. Welcome. Dara in Fort Lauderdale. Odyssey in Trinidad and Tobago. Yay. And I can't read everybody, but oh my goodness, so many amazing people and amazing places. Welcome. We are so glad to have you here with us today. And yes, so as we dive into this exploration into the unknown, I would love to introduce to all of you our amazing teachers and thought leaders who are here on the call with us today. So I'm just going to go around and introduce everybody, and I will start by introducing myself. I'm Jocelyn Mercado. I'm the founder of Sacred Planet, and I am an entrepreneurial coach and also a spiritual guide for your alchemical and initiatory journey. And I love working with alchemy and ancient Egyptian knowledge and shamanism and blending these ancient practices together in new and magical ways to guide you on your awakening path. And so we also have here, and I will just go in the order that I see you all on my screen. So welcome Leslie Nolan. Say hi to everybody, Leslie. So Leslie Nolan is an entrepreneur, visionary artist, and motivational speaker. She works with creative entrepreneurs who have lost their mojo and helps them reclaim their power so they can find the courage to create their great work. Through the magic of painting, she helps clients uncover their true genius so they can stand empowered and shine. So yay, welcome Leslie.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
And Dr. Tayria Ward. Yeah, so glad to have you here. Hi, Tayria, welcome. So Dr. Tayria Ward, who many of you who are on here may know from the Dream Symposium, has a 40-year private practice offering dream analysis, psychological, and spiritual guidance. Tayria is also an avid student and teacher of Indigenous ways of knowing and being. Tayria conducts retreats and vision quests, teaches online courses, and offers oracular readings. Yay, so glad to have you here, Tayria.
Thank you, Jocelyn. It's lovely to be here.
Yes, thank you. And Akosua, welcome Akosua. So glad to have you here. So Akosua-Dardaine Edwards is the author of 4 books and was named Social Entrepreneur of the Year in Trinidad and Tobago and Caribbean Female Social Entrepreneur of the Year from the Global Innovation Partners. Akosua offers entrepreneurial and business support with a message of unconditional self-love and living a life in love and personal power. Yay, welcome. So glad to have you here.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me here. Welcome everybody from all over the world and Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Annie. Welcome, Annie. Wonderful to have you here. So Annie Sparks Poteat is a black belt Nia teacher and an active dreaming teacher. She introduced Nia, which is an expressive, holistic movement practice that nurtures body, mind, and spirit, to the Asheville, North Carolina community, and established Nia Carolina, a collective of Nia teachers and students who come together to create Nia fundraising events to support worthy causes and to celebrate special occasions through sacred movement and dance. Wonderful. Welcome, Annie. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. And Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Kathy Forrest is a psychotherapist, master energy healer, teacher, speaker, transformational life coach, Akashic record reader, Reiki master, regression therapist, pipe carrier, ordained minister, ceremonial leader, and wild woman high priestess and creation goddess. She is the founder and owner of Celestial Forest Institute of Energy Healing and Shamanic Studies. Yay, so glad to have you here with us, Kathy.
Thank you, Jocelyn, for having us all.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And Alice Hong, welcome, Alice. Wonderful to have you here today too. Alice Hong supports women to embrace their wild feminine energy and say a full yes to life. She is known for creating brave spaces for people to step into deeper layers of truth, love, and freedom. Her skillful facilitation comes from over 12 years of teaching training in the fields of Tantra, sacred sexuality, conscious communication, and embodiment. Welcome, Alice.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here, Jocelyn. What a collective you've created here. Thank you for calling us all in.
Yes, thank you so much for being a part of it. And we have one more person who's going to join in about 20 minutes. So I will just introduce him now ahead of time so you'll all know who he is. So VerDarLuz CelestiOwl is a traveler to 40 countries, author of 2 books, Codex of the Soul and Aquarius Dawns, and creator of the Divine Timing Online School. VerDarLuz uniquely blends systems of self-awareness such as astrology, human design, and shamanic therapies into his holistic life and business coaching practice. So we'll say hi to him when he is able to join in a little bit. And yay, I love the comments. Beautiful comments. Okay, well, let's dive right in. And so we're just going to, everybody who's on the panel here, you can all unmute if you would like to. And we're just going to have a lovely, beautiful conversation about some really important topics for our times. And of course, as we all know and have been experiencing for the last year and a half or so, and more, right? But it's been especially intense during that time. We are in a deeply initiatory time. We are really in a time where our lives are being shaken up, our patterns, any old patterns we had are being broken. Many of us are moving, or relationships are changing, or careers are changing, or health situation is changing. Like really big initiatory shifts and changes are coming through. So I would love to start our conversation today by, and everybody just chime in as you feel inspired, right? What can we do? What is the most important thing for us to know during times of rapid evolution, like what we're in right now?
I would jump in, and I would say for me, and what I would want to share is knowing that life is really for us. This time is for us to take the opportunity to go within and know that we have that guidance within us. A lot of times we look outside of us for guidance when it starts within. So this time is for us to go within. The distractions have been taken away from us. Go within and take stock and pay attention to the divine guidance and believe that it will lead us to where we're supposed to be. We have always looked outside. We have always wanted validation from something else besides our divine guidance. And this time is calling for us to realize that we have it within us, and how we show up in this time will determine how we move forward. We are being called to show up differently and to be our better selves. We are now really being called to pay attention to what is important. And this is life telling us, I love you. And if you don't listen to me, then sometimes love means saying no to some things. So just to remember now that this is about life loving us and guiding us in the way that we need to be guided.
Yes, thank you.
On that, because you took some of the words right out of my mouth. And just to that, I would add, and I've also seen it in the comments, that we all chose to be here. It's a wonderful, exciting soul opportunity that we all signed up for. It's wonderful, and we can choose to be in love, or we can choose to be in fear. That's part of the learning of it, and to just find ways to choose love every day. Choose simple ways to find happiness, like the sunshine, a breeze on our face, a bird song, the hug of a loved one, the caress of a pet. whatever it is that brings you joy in those little moments. And also know that everything that's happening now is happening for us, not to us. And that, as you said, we're all guided, we're all protected. We have our angels and our guides around us. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful, exciting time. And to send out that uplifted feeling, nurture it in ourselves every day and send it out and live in that. And that will become the reality of it. In fact, I think that will even guide the way things go from here on out.
I would just add to all of that, because both of you said everything I was going to say. However, when you get those intuitive hits, and you will get them, all of us are getting them. When you get them, act on them. Don't just blow it off and go, oh, I'll do that another day. That's what got us here.
Yeah.
And so we have to begin to put our actions in alignment with our inner knowing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
I would add one piece as well. I mean, a lot of the things that have supported me in my own life and that I work with other people, women in particular, is really coming home to our bodies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find with all of the chaos and the information and not knowing what to understand and this rapid change that's happening on in a spectrum that feels like this, that can feel quite polarizing sometimes. The greatest wisdom teacher and the most accurate one, I feel, is really in our soma. Like, it's in our body, it's in the wisdom of our bones, it's in our bloodlines. And on a very practical way, like that you can implement every day, that I try and do, is really to come home to my body, come home to my breath, lay my body on the earth if possible, or at least get my feet in there, and actually quiet enough to be able to listen to my own internal nervous system, which is always navigating me towards what is more chaotic and distracting and what is actually more quiet and true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alice. Love that. I definitely lay on the earth as often as possible. It is just so incredibly healing. She loves us so much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can add to this that I feel like for us to know right now that evolutionary change is happening, and that these are times that have been prophesied, and that the changes are immense and huge, and probably more than we are have ever seen in our lifetimes, and maybe in many lifetimes. So just to sort of open ourselves to massive possibility that the change is coming, it's here, and that we can move with it, and somehow to allow ourselves to let go of the old stories and the old narratives, to take the wisdom that we have gained from those stories and let go. Just let go of the old stories, because it's time for new ones to be written, and they're ready to be written. And so have the courage and the joy to enter this great tide of change and possibility that is this moment.
Yeah.
Yes. Aho.
I'd like
Yes,
to add on
it
to
is so
that.
fascinating.
Mhm.
I'll say this real quick. It is so fascinating how all of these different ancient prophecies converge on this one time. It's really incredible as I've studied that more and more. It's just, from every continent, from so many different indigenous and ancient peoples, they spoke of this time as this time of tremendous change and of humanity, just so significantly shifting our direction and our focus. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're here to lean into, that to help co-create that. So really powerful. And we can all, I think, just settle into really deep gratitude that we're here right now, even though it's challenging, right? But we're here. We get to participate. We get to witness this. We get to be a part of it. It's like bigger than our human minds can even fully fathom, right? But it's incredibly powerful. So yeah, Leslie, go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to add, just sometimes the changes can feel so overwhelming because everything is happening so fast from so many different areas and structures, that I find that, as everybody said, going inside in whatever way, method that works for you, is the best thing to find that guidance. So it's this kind of interesting call and response. If I ask the question and put out the question, what are the next steps can I take towards my evolution? Or where is it that I need to change as we're swiftly being moved, down this very incredible current of a big river? How do I flow with this? Sometimes just asking that question or putting out the intention in that question, you then will get the response from the divine, whether it's through dream or through story, or my method is through painting, and the information will come back and flow back to you. So that is really where I see this beautiful co-creation happening. And then I'm able to take the steps for myself in a way that feels gradual and centered and non-forced, because sometimes we can get in a little, we can get panic stricken. So it's a much easier and more gentle way. And as you realize that we are also co-creators, there's an incredible excitement, and then that's where all the possibility comes in. And that's where, these flood of new ideas and the pathway becomes very clear. And when you feel like you have that support from the divine, everything feels a little bit more in alignment in your own world.
Yeah, I think what we forget is all of us are here for a certain time. We don't usually get to predict when we go out. And this time everything is reflecting to us. It's important how we live while we're here. And somebody mentioned we can choose love or we can choose fear. There's a lot of things happening. It can be overwhelming. We're hearing a lot about death, and we're hearing about things closing and people not having jobs and people losing their houses, etc. And that has been so much of the focus that we're losing sight of the fact that that life is happening for us. And we now have the opportunity, because we are here, to change how things will, to change how we move forward, and to choose from a place of love. So while we're here, because we know we're going to go out at some point and transition, what are we doing? What are we doing to raise our game? What are we doing to make here better? So when we transition, we leave a space that's better than when we met it. And we have the opportunity to focus on what life is showing us rather than what everybody else is saying, death and loss. And that is part of life. So our call is, how do we respond to that? And how do we do it? And we have all the tools within our divine, our gifts, our support, our ancient teachings that were left with us. We're almost told to neglect those things in favor of what we see. So life is really saying to us now, listen, you had your way, and now let's go back to the way that things are supposed to work, and show up and work with me, and know that you're gonna transition anyway. So love where you are now, be grateful, and really take advantage of these opportunities.
Yes, thank you, Akosua. I agree. There's huge potential, and Leslie, you spoke about this too. There's huge potential and possibility here too, right? Alongside the challenges. And I have seen this so many times, and I just so deeply believe that the universe, right, the divine intelligence wants us each to be carrying out our purpose. We each have a divine gifts that were given to us, a very special purpose that nobody else can do in the exact same way. And we're all on a different place of trying to figure out what that is or how to carry that out, right? But how can we take up this time of great opportunity? Because it is a time of such rapid evolution, we can move forward much more quickly now than we could even just 5 or 10 or 20 years ago. And so what can we do to really fully open up to our gifts and our purpose and our passion at this time? I'd love to hear what you all think.
I had a priestess teacher that would hammer into our little brains, hold the vision of what you're creating, no matter what is out picturing around you. And I think that's the first step. We hold the vision. We keep that in front of us because there's so many distractions right now. And I think that's the first step. There's lots of other things, but we have to train ourselves to do that. You know, some of the things that we're being called to do may not be all sparkly and light filled. You know, they may be difficult. They may take some strength of will to do those things. But like we've been saying, we all knew that. That's why we signed up. You know, we said, I'll go, sign me up. I want a front row seat. And we got it. So now it's behooves us to be responsible with the gift we've been given.
Yes, absolutely. And that vision, and just fully believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hold that vision and fully, deeply believe. I love that, Kathy. Thank you.
I feel a little like Pollyanna saying this, but I'm going to say it because it's been my path. I know, we, as reflected here in this panel, there are so many methodologies, there are so many ways, there are so many beautiful pathways given to us, offered to us to connect with our gifts and our purpose here. And in my practice as a movement practitioner, I've connected, and I'm very deeply connected with what Alice has to say about this, with the way of the body, and that the body shows us the way. And the body is like the way shower and the gateway for me of opening up to other realms, more vast and more expansive. So I believe our higher selves speak to us through the language of pleasure and joy. So as we explore these different modalities, these different ways, these different paths, like art, like movement, like dreams, or whatever it might be, listen inwardly for what feels best for you or us, and take that path. If it fills us with joy, if it fills us with bliss, I know it's right for me. I think we know it's right for us. That's how I got on the path of dance. That's how I got on the path of dream work. That's how I try to live my life, is to stay in that pleasure and that joy, and to believe and to trust and to know that that's my higher self. That's the cosmos. That's the creator speaking to me and guiding me that way.
I would jump in here and say, from my experience, the first thing is to trust that life will, and the universe will take care of you. Because we have this belief that we want to know all the answers. We want certainty before we tap into our gifts and our purpose. We want to know our bills will be paid before. We want to know that people will see us as a success. We want to know that we will be taken care of. And all of that wanting certainty, we give up that ability to trust. So the first thing is, for me, what put me on this path is the ability to trust life and to trust the universe, that all my needs will be met and it may not be met in the way society wants it to be met. The second thing is take risks. Take some risk, move out of your comfort zone and do something new, and don't be afraid to fail. And failure is really just guidance saying this is not how to do it. So trust the universe, take risk, and give up the need to be certain and want control. And the other thing is stop looking for outside validation as a way forward. Go within and recognize that when that intuitive hit comes, that it's guiding you. Leave the noise out. And in order for us to get those intuitive hits, we have to be still. We have to not be taken away by distractions and doubt and what society say is success or failure. And for us, really, all of us here who took the risks and who believe that we failed by society standards, is really our responsibility to be a demonstration by how we live our lives. You cannot live a peaceful life if you are ignoring your purpose and your intuition. You'll always have inner turmoil, and your decisions in your life will reflect that inner turmoil. So we have a responsibility. Everybody has their responsibility, but I think the key things for me is trust universe, take risk, and don't be afraid of being in an uncertain time. Look where we are right now. We are in an uncertain time, and here we are. We are alive. We are thriving. Look at all of us. We've met from all over the world. It's providing opportunities.
Yes, this what both of you have just said here, Annie and Akosua, I love it in combination, and I'll share why I say that. So the trust and take risks, yes, it is absolutely essential at this time. And I would say to take risks in the direction of what brings you pleasure, right? Because there have been, I know for me, so many times in my life that I've known I needed to do something, but it may be very different than what my family and friends are thinking, is normal or accepted, right? Or very different than what anybody's done before, or that, people I know have done before. And it feels scary, right? It feels really risky to step out there and live in this different way. Or for me, like to be a parent and a mother in a different way, or to move to a different place where I don't know so many people. But I can feel where in my body, I can feel what's going to bring me joy and what's going to bring me into alignment with my soul, and ultimately, even if I don't understand it right now, the reason that I'm here and what I'm here to do. So bringing all that together, I think, is really important.
Yes, Jocelyn, I was just thinking about what everyone has said. That with that feeling of trust that we're just discussing, how you have to then allow it, right? You have to allow it. You have to allow it to unfold. You have to almost give yourself these permissions to follow your dreams, or to do the things that you really love, or to follow the teacher you're interested in, or to take that time off for yourself, or to try out for that job, or to speak up for that thing that you want, right? So it's this thing of allowing ourselves. It's almost like we have to give ourselves that permission to be able to do the things that we're either naturally inclined to do or attracted to do. So there's something when you move towards, when you're taking the steps towards the thing that you love, how you start to get feedback from it, right? So it becomes more and more exciting and more enticing, and you want to move closer to it, and you continue to get that feedback. So I just love that, because that is, I believe, that co-creation, that's that co-creation space where anything, you start to realize that anything is almost possible. There's so many alternative routes. There's so many different roads you can take. And it's really up to you. The choice is yours. And many times when all of this is happening, I know for myself, I can get a little stuck. But when I allow myself that freedom that I'm creating the life, you know, I'm not going to let life push me. I'm going to make the choice to take the steps towards what I want. Things start to open up and everything else falls away that's not important. And that's where I'm finding that sweet spot, that, you know, that joy, that place where I am able to step into my power and continue to create in the direction that I love. And it's just allowing that, giving yourself the permission.
Yes, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the magic can come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to just add on to that. I mean, I've been just loving what everybody's sharing. Thank you for all of your collective wisdom. And the piece that's coming through for me right now, especially after Leslie's share, is it's a teaching from one of my teachers named Bruce Lyon, who really talks about how much power, like sheer, you could call it physical or energetic or intelligent power it takes for us to actually incarnate into a body. I mean, the sheer amount of actual like electrical impulses, you know, that needs to go into creating this body in order for then like the miracle of a soul to land and for us to be on this planet. The sheer amount of power it takes for this planet to exist and regenerate itself. I mean, it kind of blows my mind to even imagine. I can't actually grasp at how much power there is that is being created all the time. And I noticed that in these times where there's a lot of rapid change and chaos and uncertainty, it's really easy for us to become powerless and forget the amount of power we actually hold. And this feeling of powerlessness, I think, is one of the things that keeps us out of our truth of what the gift is that we are here to bring. And I also love what was shared about failure, you know, to not be afraid of failure. It's just like this, I kind of treat my life as a living experiment to see, okay, well, what happens if I do this? What is the response in my outer world as well as my inner world? And to not waste this power that's here. And to wake up every morning thinking, Kate, if it took so much for me to actually physically land here, and then, you know, on all the other meta levels, what am I really going to do with my day? And how do I choose to live my life? And what do I call in? And what do I actually create that is in alignment with my values and the planet that I wish to see? And a lot of that, I think, comes back to that passion and gift, that what moves your soul, what feels pleasurable, what feels joyful. It may not always be easy. You might not always get the results that you imagine that you wanted. And yet what really stirs you and moves you from the inside, that brings the gifts out, because the world really needs us to come forward with all that we have. I think it's that's the biggest gift that we can give each other.
Yes, I love this, Alice. Thank you so much for this perspective on how much electricity, right? How much energy and just, like vast atoms, DNA, everything, right? That it takes for us to just be here. It's so incredible. Yes, thank you so much for that. Well, I want to welcome VerDarLuz CelestiOwl. Welcome. Glad you could join us today. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, sorry I'm late, but I'm super excited to be here with everyone. And I'm in a runes class right now, studying Norse mythology deeply. So it's our last class, so I'm back and forth with that. But I'm so excited to be a part of this community, and happy eclipse to everyone today. It's a very potent day for this shared ceremony of gathering with each other.
It is such a powerful day. Well, so welcome. Glad you're here with us. And I want to ask just one more question. I know we're a little over time with the panel discussion here, but it's so beautiful. I just want to let it go for a little bit longer. So I'm going to ask one more question. Maybe let's take 2 shares on this one, and then we will move forward with the presentation today. So we are seeing definitely polarity in our world today, right? People disagreeing, people feeling or being on very opposing sides about how things should be handled or who should be in charge, you know, who the list is infinite, it seems. So how can we collectively move from polarity and division into unity and compassion with one another? I think this is something that is just so up for us, so like in our faces right now every single day. That's really important to think about and talk about.
Let's chime in on that, just a short one. Remember that part where I said sometimes it would be difficult? We always have to go back to love. I don't care whether they agree with us or not. We have to. And when we do that, when all of us do that over and over, even when we don't feel like it, we will shift it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to say something about that if I could offer.
Sure.
I was just writing about that this week for the Gemini eclipse, and I think there's a couple perspectives you could take, which you can come from this even sort of dualistic perspective or this non-dualistic perspective. And so I work with the Stoic philosophers a lot, and the Stoics would say that, you know, opinions and all of the sort of projections about what should be or could be or how people should act or not, that's really external to what each of us has the ability to really control, to really put our really righteous effort into. So the Stoics would say it's actually not something we should energize. We should really work on our own virtue, building our own character, acting from integrity, loving each other, being compassionate, studying philosophy, studying meaningful, you know, spiritual things that can help us, you know, inspire each other. And you could say that, you know, that includes seeing others as others. But in the non-dualistic traditions, in Tantra yoga and a lot of the practices that I'm very, very connected with, Shaiva Tantra, for instance, they would say there is no other self there. You know, that it's all about how we perceive. And so when we can look at someone that we might disagree with, but we can see that this is also part of the divine consciousness at play, that in the language of Tantra, Shakti, the goddess, has to dance in all of her possible forms. Like the god and goddess have to know themselves through every possible means. And when you really understand like every possible means, it's very humbling. And it also makes you appreciate parts of life that maybe you don't prefer, as the Stoics talk about. It's unpreferred, but it's something that is an expression of divinity in a different way. And that appreciation and getting curious about that, and even getting into a state of wonder, childlike wonder at something that can feel like even disgusting or abhorrent to you, it can lighten that tendency for us to go into judgment right away, and help us to detach from that projection that we can do, or that we take on sometimes, you know, and just letting that go. So that's maybe that's a little bit helpful on that perspective.
Thank you so much.
To add, Jocelyn, as you brought it up, it's just reminding me of the painting that I have behind me, where you have the energies, the female energy and the masculine energy of sun and moon. So you could take it as any polar opposite that you want to really look at. And each unit, in a sense, is their own strong identity, but a little bit different. And as they're mixing their energies, which in a sense is a cosmic one, as illustrated in this, it's like the energies are pouring down in between them and connecting to their alignment of their chakras, and the triangles inverted upward and downward is both feminine and the masculine energy. And as it is created between them, it's creating a third spiritual energy in between them. And that's almost like the connection point of love, which then you might not be able to see from this vantage point, starts to reverberate out. There's like little hearts that reverberate, creates another space where then all the energy of love is encompassing all of them. So I think it's important to just be in that place or that state when you are even confronting something that might be different from you, that you're trying to understand to the best of your ability, whatever that opposite is that you feel is for yourself. Mm-hmm. And coming from that place of love is one of the ways kind of into and through, the imagery in a sense, or through yourself as a way to open up to those possibilities of love.
If we can shift our perspective from, oh, this is horrible, to this is giving us opportunities to flex that love muscle and get bigger and better at that, we can move through it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The perspective shift is everything. Is everything. And that actually leads quite perfectly into our next section of our presentation here. So thank you all, first of all, for these beautiful, beautiful reflections and teachings and insights and transmissions. It's been really powerful. I'm going to come back and listen to this again because there was so much beauty and wisdom there. Now, everybody who's listening on the call today, all of us here on this panel are really excited, so excited to share with you a really special announcement. So all of us, there's 8 of us here, plus 5 other additional teachers, plus a few extra surprise guests who are going to be coming in as well, are co-creating an extremely powerful community. And this is truly a community for change makers, for visionaries, for those who are feeling called to be a very active part of this massive shift that's happening for us at this time. And this community is going to be called the Stargate. And so all 8 of us, plus 5 other teachers, as I said, and plus a few extra surprise guests, are going to be teaching inside of the Stargate over the next year. And we want to invite you to be a part of this. So we are each here on the panel going to share with you just a little 2 to 3 minute description about what each of us are going to be teaching over the upcoming year. And each teacher is going to specialize during a month. So you can do a really, really deep dive into their particular topic for that whole month, receive their guidance, meet with that teacher on live calls like this, participate in the live Q&A, get their answers to your own questions. So we're so excited to be embarking on this journey, this grand adventure, and we want to invite all of you to join us. So let's go around, everybody here on the panel. And I know some people have to leave. I know Alice, Akosua, and VerDarLuz, I think the 3 of you need to leave sooner rather than later. So I'm going to let the 3 of you share first. So Alice, would you like to go first and just share? So you'll be teaching in November 2021. So go right ahead and share with us.
So my work is really so much about embodiment, and the title of the subject that I'll share with is Awakening the Wild Feminine. And this is for all human beings. You don't have to be in a woman's body, but the quality of the feminine, which is deeply wise in her bones, in her blood, and through the intuition of her body. And so what we're going to work with is stripping away the things that keep us conditioned, the things that we've been told we should be, how we should feel, and actually start to give a space of brave permission for us to truly feel it all. And that includes the joy, the bliss, the orgasmic qualities, as well as some of the most tender parts of us as well, and to really make space for all of it so that we can integrate these various colors and aspects of who we are. And so, I really look forward to sharing this piece with everybody. Thanks for having me, Jocelyn.
Yay. Thank you, Alice. And I know you just so beautifully facilitate and hold space and guide people to go really deeply into exactly where the healing is most needed. So just can't wait to see all that you will share with us in November. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
you. So Akosua, would you like to go next?
Sure. So just to say thank you, Jocelyn, for putting this together. I'm excited to be in the Stargate. And I'm going to talk about the pillars of self. And that came to me based on my experience in failing, I would say, by society's standard, and who am I without all of the material things? What are the pillars that make the big S of self? And this time we're going to talk about who you are, expanding and knowing who you are. What would make you grow into that big self, self-respect, self-esteem, self-love, and how we can turn around how we feel and how we can build those pillars of self. It's going to be an exciting and eye-opening and an unveiling session where you get to look into the mirror of yourself and see how magnificent you are, see how much energy it took to get you here, what we heard earlier from Alice. And we're just going to dive in and talk about self-love, self-respect, and self-esteem, which is the pillars of yourself, and how we can use that pillar to build the life that we want.
Beautiful. Thank you, Akosua. And you will be presenting in April 2022. And I know whenever I hear you speak, Akosua, there's something about the shift in perspective that you bring that I just have these breakthrough insights every time I hear you share. So can't wait to see all the wisdom that you will impart to us in April. Thank you so much. All right, VerDarLuz, would you like to share?
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to be sharing about evolving intimacy with astrology and human design. So I've been passionate about these two wonderful systems of self-awareness and of conscious relationship for about 15 years now. And my path of awakening around astrology actually came through the study of relationships. And what was the big aha for me with using this tool in my life and turned me into an astrologer was about relationships and learning about the sacred masculine and divine feminine, which we call Mars and Venus in astrology. And so I'm going to teach about the different versions of the sacred masculine and feminine, these different archetypes that we want to be honored for, and something that we often feel in our relationships, but we maybe don't have a vocabulary or language for. And once we can put that language to it, we can ask to be, honored and recognized for those qualities, those patterns within us. We can also learn the highest vibration of expressing those gods and goddesses, and we will talk about some embodiment practices for them as well, and how to support that in your partners or partners to be, and be confidently expressing those desires and those attractions that you have with your Mars and Venus positions in your birth chart, and then learn about your energy type and your strategies for making decisions according to your genetic makeup, which is really the gift of the human design system, and a really incredible tool to understand how to make decisions from a confident place and to learn how to honor where your partner or friends or children, even different relationships in our life, where they make their decisions from. So we'll be talking about how to use these two systems to really come into a deeper intimacy with self and with other.
Wonderful. And you will be sharing with us in October 2021.
Yeah, the month of Libra. So it's a perfect month for, the Libra energy is all about relationships. So it's a great harmonious time to be doing the deep dive into partnership.
Absolutely. That would be perfect. And I know, VerDarLuz, you have this gift for just really helping people through these tools of astrology and human design and other tools that you share, of allowing us to see these deeper levels of our soul than we even knew were there, and really how to work with those and how to be more fully ourselves and live in passion every day. So thank you for the gifts you bring.
Thank you. I can't wait to share. I have to go. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your call.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Great. Bye.
All right, wonderful. So let's see, Annie, would you like to share next?
Sure.
You will be in December 2021. I'll just say that before you begin.
December, which is my birthday month, and it's also the month of the long night's moon. So it's a wonderful time to do a deep dive into dreaming. And I acknowledge that I'm here with a very gifted dream teacher, Tayria, which I'm excited about being with you in your presentation. So I see dream work as this most wonderful ocean of that we can dive into. And, you know, if you take a dive in the ocean, in one part of the ocean, you know that part of the ocean, but do you know the whole ocean yet? Or is there something else, another part of the ocean can teach you? So it's just this endless, vast mystery that we can explore. So my hope is to impart one or two tools and techniques for working with dreams, catching them, working with them, finding value, finding messages, finding information that can enhance our lives and our pathway. And if I do that for just, if I am able to show the participants even one tool or technique that really clicks with them, I feel that I have done a good job. So my topic is dream catching, dream theater or dream play, and dancing into our dreams. And during our time together, we're going to look at ways to catch our dreams and bring them into our waking life to work with them. I'm going to share with you some easy ways to explore those dreams in a quick way that can give you some immediate insights and ahas. Selecting one of your dreams, the participants who are on the call today, I hope you join me. You'll have a little bit of time to play with catching your dreams. So selecting one of your dreams that you choose, one that holds energy and juice for you, that one that you're still curious about, will re-enter that dream and explore it more closely. And then also selecting a dream of your choosing. It can be the same dream or another dream that you want to play with. We will cast that dream as a theater piece. And then we will play with the cast of characters, and we'll interact with the cast of characters to see what they have to share with us. And then finally, we will take a dream or a dream fragment or a dream character, or any aspect of any dream that we want to enter into a more intimate relationship with or just be with, and we will physically dance with that dream. And for the folks that are here, I just want to share a little sneak peek of a dream catcher that I was actually gifted with. It kind of plopped into my awareness today, this morning, from one of my guides. This is my favorite dream catcher, the Dream Journal. And I love to have dream journals with pictures of trees on them. This one is nearly full. I have two more in waiting with dream pictures of trees. And the technique that came to me today is to take your journal the night before, set your dream intention that you want to catch your dream, go ahead and put into the entry the date and the dream and a colon. So, and put it by your bed with a pen so that it's the first thing that you see when you wake up in the morning to catch your dream. There are lots of other ways to do it, but this is the one that came to me to share with you today. So I'm looking forward to being with you all in December. And I'm also taking this course. So I'll be taking classes with each one of you. And I can't wait to take Tayria's work with Dreams Your Way as well.
Yay, wonderful, Annie. Thank you so much. And whenever I attend any of your classes, Annie, or your workshops, I'm just always come away so feeling like lighthearted and so inspired. So can't wait to work with you on the dreams and the movement and the dance all as well. Thank you. Now, you were saying your birthday's in December, and I think, Kathy, is your birthday today?
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
Happy birthday. Aw.
Yay, that's so exciting. Well, go ahead and share about your month, and you're going to be with us way in the future in June 2022.
So, and matters not, we'll be around for the birthday time again.
Yes.
So my topic is priestessing the planet and the importance of valuing the female body as a vehicle and a tool for harnessing the information we need right now. And this has been my passion forever, because I see that we almost lost so many tools and techniques and information about why and how this is so important. And so what I'm going to be sharing with women is, with everyone, is how to, all of the how-tos, all of the things that we didn't know, that our mothers didn't know, our grandmothers didn't know, that we were never taught about honoring the moon cycle, having, honoring your sacred time and how to treat your body well. Back in 2005, I received a vision from Magdalene, and she said, because I'd been teaching these things for a while, and I was trying to decide if I was going to keep on doing it. And she said, she was very adamant, and she said, all the tools that you need to shift the trajectory of the planet are housed in the wombs of the women of this age. And we have to begin to harness that. We have to begin. So I loved all of the things that Alice was saying about getting on the ground and really coming back to the body. That's going to be the ticket. If you want to understand why we're in the mess we're in, it's because we all went to sleep. We didn't know. And, one of the other great womb teachers out there is Queen Afua, and she truly embeds in us the concept that the way of our womb, so goes the way our womb goes, so goes the planet. And so if we don't come back to the sanctity of the female body and treat her with the respect and use her for what she was really put here to do, not to just generate energy for everything and everyone, but to draw in spiritual information and share it with the people. It's like we have to begin to return to those kinds of practices so that we can shift the trajectory of where we've been headed. So when you come to my class, you're going to get all of them. I mean, everything, 30 years worth of teaching, you're going to get all of that in a concise little package that gives you step by step by step how to use the shamanic tool that is your female body to harness the information you need, both for your own personal life and for the life of your loved ones and the life of the planet.
Wow, Kathy, so powerful. Thank you. And it just seems like these tools that you're speaking of, they've been so much in the mystery, right? They had to all go into hiding. We had to forget them so we can remember. And it's really important what you're teaching. Everything that you're bringing forward is so deeply needed for our path ahead. So thank you. Can't wait for your month. Okay, so we have 3 more shares, including mine. So Tayria, would you like to go next?
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say there are some people that are putting things in the chat box that only come to the panelists.
Yes.
So be sure that you say to panelists that you click to panelists and attendees. Otherwise, not everybody gets to see what you're writing, and there's some great stuff that there. So that's just a reminder. And I'm loving the conversation that's going on there. It's very alive and very active. It's lovely. Yeah. So I will be teaching in August, and I'm looking forward to December as well. We can't get enough of dreams and our work with our dreams. And I do want to say to anybody who's listening, whether you come to this class or not, listen to your dreams. I feel like the dreams are the keys, and they're the part of our psyche and our self and our soul that is messaging to us how to get through these changing times that we're in. And I feel like the big medicine and the most appropriate for our own self is in our dreams, that the dreams are always speaking very specifically to us, to this time, for us now, what we need to know today. So I would say whether or not you're taking this class, please just really start to take seriously that you have this amazing gift of the dreaming, and take it seriously and listen to them and write them down. Get a beautiful journal like Annie showed you. Your dreams deserve to be in a place of honor. So keep them in your journal. So my subject is going to be on dreams as portals to interdimensional consciousness. So I'm going to be looking at the dreaming, the dreams of the night, but also the style of thinking that is in the dreams. And as Einstein famously said, that we can't solve the problems at the same level of thinking that created the problem in the first place. So it's a whole style of thinking that is introduced by listening to our dreams. And so I've done a lot of work with teaching and thinking about dream thinking and oracular thinking, both of them very connected to each other, that this is a whole other way of perceiving the world. And one of the stories that I love to tell about this that just is a key story for me is when Carl Jung went to Africa, and he was talking to the Laban there, one of the shamans there, and he was asking about their dreams. The Laban said to him, he said with tears in his eyes, the Laban said that they used to live their lives completely by their dreams, and that after the white men came, after the English came, the dreams stopped. He said, because the English knew better.
Oh God.
So, what this says to me is that this style of consciousness that we've created, this overemphasis on the rational thought and the one aspect of thinking and mind, has actually stopped the dreaming. And that this has happened not just to those in Africa, clearly, but to all of us. And so now it's to reclaim and revive dream thinking so that we can recover our connection to the tremendous web of life where everything is dreaming, where the plants are dreaming, the trees are dreaming, the birds are dreaming, the rocks are dreaming, the stars are dreaming, and it's all dreaming us and we're dreaming it. And so the dream thinking is allowing us to get into that kind of collaboration and contact and messaging with all aspects of creation. So we'll be working with that, and then working with life as a dream. That really this, as who is it? Montaigne says, we sleeping dream. No, wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, it's when we go to sleep, that's when we're awake. When we're awake, that's when we're asleep. It's kind of the reverse of it, it's like this world that we're walking around in is like a big dream that we're in. And when we go to sleep, we wake up to what the real sort of world is. And so it's a way of getting in touch with a whole other realm of intelligence that can guide our souls as we participate in it more fully. So we'll be working with all of these aspects of the dreams. And I can't wait to work with you on it. And also, I wanted to say that Veronica Goodchild, who is a very dear friend of mine, and she and I have taught together in a variety of ways, and she is going to be joining me for the second class in that month. So Veronica, and she and I have been in crop circles together, so I'm sure that we're going to be talking about the crop circle as, this living dream that we entered together, and how those portals, those are portals definitely to other realms of intelligence that address us. So we'll be talking about dreams and life as a dream and crop circles, and we're going to have fun with that too. So please join us. We can't wait.
Yes, I can't wait. And yeah, Veronica is one of our surprise guests, and she's so amazing as well. I can't wait to hear the conversation you will both have. And Tayria, as you know, I just love working with you and collaborating with you. And oh my gosh, we go so deeply into the dreams every month in the Dream Symposium. So can't wait to hear what you will share with us in August of this year.
Yeah, so start writing down your dreams, everyone, so that you have them to come to these sessions with them fresh.
Yes, wonderful. Wow. So Leslie,
Yes.
go ahead and share. And so
Okay.
Leslie is going to be teaching in July of 2021.
Yes, I took some notes, so I'll be reading off some of that. So I'll be teaching painted portals to the divine. So the portal is a kind of doorway or gate or entrance, and the canvas can similarly be a portal. Master artists in the centuries would enter through the image. So many of their sculptures or artworks, especially of the divine, would be something that you would meditate on and move through it. So the image language is at the root of all of our dreaming, our art, our myth making, and it's a direct and active way of learning how to allow these divine energies to work with you creatively. Art making can be the means of exploring the self and these divine energies through the gateway. And through the energy portal of the canvas, opening up these gateways, we're using paint, brush, canvas, or paper. And some of the most important tools really are our own creativity and intention. In Painted Portals to the Divine, we create the scene, we create something seen through the non-seen realm from an alternative space-time. It is a call and response. It's a call from our dimension as we put out our intention, and then the response comes back from the veil through the canvas. So immersions into this spiritual energy, we will also use breath, intention, color to open up these infinite possibilities of our own magical universe. And it's very exciting as we explore that with paint. It could be really freeing and very empowering working with liquid color. There's something very magical about that. So, you know, we talked about mistakes. They're part of the process. Sometimes even looking bad is part of the process, but it's a beautiful feeling to move that paint around. This threshold place brings in the liminal as we cross over it. And I enter into that new area of this natural realm, and it's a dimensional part of myself as I am exploring consciousness. Sometimes we're in a little outside of time when we create, like you lose track of time, and we kind of merge into that place with spirit. So a painted portal is an entry point into love. Our canvases become illuminated, and it's evident with the bright colors, and we'll bring in lots of playfulness and joyfulness through the canvas and then back into our lives. So I'm really excited about doing this with you, Jocelyn, and thank you so much for the invitation.
Yes, thank you so much, Leslie. And I know everybody had so much fun during your creative workshop in the Aquarian Wisdom Festival. And this is just going to let us have a chance to go so much deeper into your expertise around all that the painting can open up for us. So yeah, really excited to go into those portals together with you and everybody.
Thank you.
Wow. So, well, yeah, thank you all for what you have shared here. And as everybody, as you can hear, we have just quite an incredible year planned for you. So just imagine being able to dive in so deeply to these other realms, right? To really shift your consciousness through the movement, through the creativity, through the wisdom, the ancient knowings being resurrected and brought back to us today on so many levels. So just imagine if you can journey with us, right, in the Stargate. So I'm going to share the screen and just tell you a little more of the details about the Stargate. And I will share in a minute here about what I'm going to teach as well. So you are invited into the Stargate opening portals to expanded consciousness. And we have even more teachers than you've seen here. I'm going to put this link in the chat for everybody on Zoom, just in case you want to come here and check it out at your own pace. You are welcome to do so. But I want to also guide you through the page if that would be helpful. So we will be gathering from June 2021. This says to May 2022, but we already have Kathy on our schedule for June 2022, and we're just going to keep on going after that with amazing teachers to shift your consciousness. So it's not going to end after May, that's for sure. And this has truly been created to be a community of change makers and paradigm breakers, because we need the perspective shifts right now. We really need to open up to living and being and just existing in our everyday life, as well as in our creativity, our passion, our work, in a very different way than we've been doing for the last 100, 200, 500, 5,000 years, right? And we need this shift right now. And we are in an initiatory time. It does take great courage to live right now, to continue walking this path, to continue moving forward with this rapid evolution that's moving through all of us. And we want to support you in this community. We want to give you everything you need to be fully supported on a personal level and really expand fully into your purpose, into your passion, into living fully every moment. And also give you the tools so that together, collectively, we're all creating a bright and vibrant future together for our planet, for all beings. Now, I'll let you come here and read more if you would like to. But of course, you are invited to enter the Stargate. And so every month we're going to venture deeply into new realms of consciousness with either one 90 to 120 minute teaching or two 60 to 90 minute teachings that will be live with every one of our amazing teachers. And so you're going to be able to attend live with them. You're going to be able to ask them your own questions, really be involved in these beautiful community conversations. We're going to explore the vastness of our human potential and guide you to passionately live into and embrace your own fullest potential from many different angles, from many different perspectives, right? Through dream work, through dancing, through creativity, through studies of human design and astrology, through studies of ancient Egyptian magic, which is what I'm going to share with you, and many other different angles as well, right? So it's going to be very holistic, very transformative, very fulfilling. And you also get to be a part of this community. So just imagine the people who are saying yes to this adventure. You get to come all hang out, right? We can all hang out together over the next year or more. And we're going to have a Facebook group as well as an off Facebook discussion group. So you can be in whichever one you prefer. Many of our teachers will be participating in those groups, even between the live calls. So there's going to be so many ways to connect. So here are some ways to know if the Stargate is perfect for you. I'll let you come here and check this out. But really, if you are ready to just take your gifts and talents to the next level, take your shamanic or visionary or healing abilities to the next level, and you just know you're here to make a big difference in the world, you're in the right place. And there's just, we're here, as it says here, we're here to give you the tools to create a new reality. Really, that's what we're doing in here together, both personally and collectively. So here are our wonderful guides and teachers. And I do want to just take a moment to share what I will be teaching about. So my topic, and I'm starting out here, I'll be teaching in June, on June 17th and 24th, about alchemy, astrology, and Heka, which is ancient Egyptian magic. Practical steps to create new realities by accessing ancient wisdom. Now, we're going to work with the power of the moon, as well as ancient Egyptian symbols to create a sigil. Okay, so this is going to be a magical ritual that I'll share with you all the background and the history of this and the Egyptology of this, right? All that we know about it. And then we're going to call upon the magic of the being that is Mercury, Hermes, and Thoth, right? These are three gods in one. This is the ancient Egyptian god Thoth, who was originally the creator of alchemy. Some say even maybe 26,000 years ago, he created alchemy. Some say it was more like 8,000 years ago. Who knows? But we're going to work with alchemy We're also going to work with the Mercury retrograde cycle, because we'll start working together on June 17th, and Mercury will almost be at the completion of his Mercury retrograde cycle. So I'm going to guide you in a practice to look at what has become apparent to you. What have you learned from Mercury during this retrograde cycle? And that will help us to inform what you will create this sigil for. So this sigil you're going to create to bring something new into your life, or to grow or expand something that you want more of in your life. Okay. And we're going to be working with the moon and with the ancient Egyptian magic to create that. In our second session, so you'll have some fun practices in the week between our first and second sessions, and you'll be able to work with that sigil and help the energy of that to grow and expand, to amplify. And then in the next class, we're going to learn more about the ancient Egyptian goddesses, Isis and Nephthys, and the role that they play in the art of Heka, or Egyptian magic, and the power of the words that we use. This is really about creating the highest possible vibrational frequency with our thoughts, with our words, with our actions, and the choices that we make every day. Because truly, the words that we say, the attitude that we bring to everything, it sends ripples out into the universe. It affects everything around us. And so I want to bring you into a deep awareness of that, and how to really work with it in a beautiful, powerful way to bring more of what you want in, and to expand the things that you're ready to receive more of. So it's going to be very powerful and fun, and I cannot wait to share all of that with you. So we'll start off with that in June. And as you just heard from Leslie, she is going to lead us in this creative art workshop, Painted Portals to the Divine, in July. So we can't wait for that. Then in August, Dr. Tayria Ward will bring us into dreams as portals to interdimensional awareness. And as we mentioned, we will have the surprise guest, Veronica Goodchild. The amazing and wonderful Veronica Goodchild will join us that month too. Now in September, she wasn't able to join us today, but we will have Dr. Andrea Pennington. Now she is a physician, an acupuncturist, and a best-selling author and TEDx speaker. She incredibly beautifully blends science and spirituality in all of her work. And she has this deep understanding of the body and how the body functions, but in order to help us expand our soul. And so you can see here, she's going to speak about how to activate the highest vision for your soul. I can't wait for this. It's going to be so inspiring and powerful. And you heard from VerDarLuz today. He's going to speak about, in October, about evolutionary intimacy and conscious relating with astrology and human design. It will be a beautiful deep dive at a soul level for everybody attending. And then we heard from Alice today as well in November. She will guide us in awakening the wild feminine with pleasure, presence, and prayer. And we heard from Annie today as well. So in December, we will dive into dream catching, dream theater or dream play, and dancing into our dreams. Beautiful. And that will be, I feel like that will be so deeply needed in December, right? It's the holiday time for many of us, and there can be stress, and oh my gosh, what an amazing way to really connect in with the deeper realms, release all the to-do lists, and just move and experience that pleasure that you were talking about earlier, Annie. And then in January 2022, we will have Keone Hanalei join us. And so he is, as it says here, a descendant of the Mu people of Hawaii, which is the inhabitants of the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands. And he's a teacher of fern medicine, as well as ancient primal meditative and movement practices. If any of you have heard Keone speak, it is extremely powerful. This deep wisdom that he shares that is based on thousands of years, I think even thousands of generations of his Hawaiian ancestors, and the wisdom that has been transmitted through that lineage. So he's going to speak to us about energetic and androgyny. And so this is really the balance of the masculine and feminine, both within us and in our world. Very powerful topic. Then in February 2022, I'm just so excited that Sandra Ingerman will be joining us. And Sandra Ingerman is a world-renowned teacher of shamanism. She's been teaching for nearly 40 years. I'm sure most of you have probably heard her name. And she's recognized for bridging ancient cross-cultural healing methods into our modern culture. She's an incredible teacher of shamanic journeying and shamanic practices to create a bright and vibrant future for our world. So she's just so aligned with all that we're doing here. And her topic is medicine for the earth and walking in light. So can't wait for that month. And then in March 2022, we will have Chris Beisch, PhD. Now, he is an incredible professor in philosophy and religious studies, and he has devoted his life as well to the study of non-ordinary states of consciousness, especially psychedelic states. And he's written a book called LSD and the Mind of the Universe, as well as other books. He's written an amazing book on reincarnation, as well as others. And so he brings a really unique and profound viewpoint to everything that he shares. And he's going to be speaking about the presentation of the future human as it was revealed to him through his research with LSD and the mind of the universe. So very profound. This is like life-changing, definitely a topic here that will really shift your perspective and change your life. Now, in April 2022, we heard from Akosua today, and so she is going to speak about the pillars of self, and absolutely can't wait to dive into that topic. And in May 2022, we will feature Carly Mentlick. And so she is a holistic psychotherapist and the founder of the Inner Rainbow Project, which is a platform designed to empower the next generation of children with fun and creative tools for their mental health, well-being, and self-discovery. And I feel her work is just so incredibly important because these next generations are going to be our leaders before long. And we're going to really, hand the reins over to them. And we want to have them as fulfilled and powered up and understanding of their own magic as possible from as early an age as possible. And I have 2 young girls who are 7 and 10 years old. And I know that this deeper work, really opening up more of the mystery realm, speaking to them about their chakras and their auras, they really come alive with that. Children naturally understand that as long as they're raised in a way that they can be open to it, right? So the more that we can expand that within our kids and just prepare them to be our leaders in an incredibly beautiful way, is just really important. Kathy, I know this is near and dear to your heart as well. And then in June 2022, Kathy Forrest, who you heard from today, will speak with us about her amazing topic, Priestessing the Planet, the importance of women's body wisdom for planetary survival. And yes, so incredibly important for us. So as it says here, we'll have additional specially selected surprise guests throughout the year. One of those who has been confirmed is Ilarion Merkuliev, who is an Alaskan Native Indigenous man, and he's one person that when he speaks, my mind is blown every time. Such deep wisdom from his Indigenous lineage. So he will be sharing with us. I believe it will be in November, but we're deciding on a date. So, and there will be more wonderful teachers, visionaries, wisdom keepers announced soon. Now I want to share with you the investment for this, and we have really worked to keep this as low as we possibly can because we want everybody to join, everybody to be a part of this. So you are all invited to join the Stargate at this special price of $22 a month. Now this is the lowest that the Stargate is ever going to be going forward. So we're going to close registration on June 17th. So a week from today, it will be open from June 10th to the 17th. After June 17th, registration will close, and we're going to open it not until the end of 2021. It might be October, November, December that we'll open it up again. But at that time, the price is going to be higher. The price will be $33 a month then. So this is your chance to join. And if you join now, as long as you just keep your membership continuous, you will keep this $22 a month rate for as long as you wish to stay in the Stargate. And you can also save even more by paying for the full year up front, which is $242 a year. Now I'm going to copy this link again and put it in the chat again, so that if you want to come on over and join right now, go right ahead. You are welcome to join right away. And yeah, the sooner that you join, the sooner you can come over and hang out in the Facebook group and start getting to know our amazing community and our amazing teachers. And we will have our first class on June 17th. That will be my class, the first one that I'm teaching on alchemy, astrology, and Heka, ancient Egyptian magic. But really, you know, go ahead and join now. There's no reason to wait. The special price is going to end in a week, so I wouldn't want you to miss out. There's some payment clarifications here that you can read if you would like to. And so I'll just pause now, and I'm not going to read all of these, but I'll just leave this up on the screen for a moment so you can see all that you'll receive each month in Stargate. And yeah, we have so much goodness and bounty and abundance here for you. I can't wait to share it with everyone out there. So I do want to open this up for Q&A. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. And we will answer your question. So let's say, oh, Allie, I dreamt about Isis this week. Yay. Well, you should definitely attend in June then. We will connect very deeply with Isis in June. And Barb says, wow, Sandra, yes, I'm so honored to have Sandra as a part of this. It's really wonderful. But she felt the connection with how this community was going to come together. And she said she knew it was a yes. So really wonderful. And Libra is asking how many classes per month. So some months there will be one class that's live, and some months there will be 2 classes. If there's one live class only, which is the exception, you know, for the most part, most people are doing 2 classes a month, but some people, because of scheduling restrictions, couldn't do 2. So if there is only one class, it's going to be a full 90 minutes of teaching plus 20 to 30 minutes of Q&A. So you're still going to receive, you know, the same amount of teaching as there would be in 2 classes. If there are 2 classes, it will be 60 minutes of teaching plus Q&A 2 times that month. So either 1 or 2 live classes. And of course, the recordings will be fully available to you as long as you're a member. You will receive the recordings immediately after, within 24 hours after we end the call, and you can watch them at your convenience as well. And yes, Betsy, whether you're paying monthly or you're paying for the year, you will absolutely get all of the recordings. The only way you would lose the recordings is, let's say you join and you're only in for 3 months and then you end your subscription, okay? Then we can't give you all the recordings because they're all grouped together for the year. So then you would lose those 3 months of recordings, right? But if you stay a member, if you join at the monthly rate and you stay a member for the full year, you get to permanently keep all of those recordings. We're not breaking this up on a monthly basis. You know, we really want to form an ongoing community. So I have seen a couple people ask, what if you only want to attend 1 class, or what if I just want to buy 1 month? We're really not breaking it up in that way. We want this to be a very cohesive, ongoing experience for everybody. So if you feel called, go ahead and join, because I think you'll be so glad that you did. There's just so much depth and beauty offered every month. But if you don't feel called to join for the whole year, I understand, and maybe it's not the right thing for you at this time. MB is saying, can you say a bit about a potential vision of what this community could create? Well, I would say, and actually I'm answering all the questions. I need to let you guys weigh in on these, but I would say the possibilities are absolutely endless. I mean, I know I've been a part of communities where I go on to become friends or colleagues with the people that I was in the community with, and we've created amazing things together after that. So I think truly there's no limit to that, to what could be created. But one thing that I do know for sure is that as we each do our healing work, as we each immerse in these teachings and the dance and the creativity, each of us are going to be able to bring more of our highest contribution into the world, able to live fully, right? To be more passionate, to be living more in our alignment with our highest self. And all of that is going to ripple out and create a higher and higher vibration in the world around us. So there's just so much here, both personally and collectively. Would anybody else want to chime in on that?
It was just such a great question,
Huh?
because that's also the questions opening up lots of possibilities. Not that I have an answer, but it's making me think that some beautiful things can be created. So thanks for asking that question.
Yes, definitely.
The thought
And
comes to me
like-
that we're, whatever we're doing here together, that it's going out and hitting the stars too, right? So it's like the we're seeding the field of consciousness so that people can receive whatever they're open to receive from it, whether it's a personal healing or or something much more broad than that. But I just feel like what we're doing is really seeding the field of consciousness in our whole collective planetary mindset. So,
And I just say to the people who asked if they could just take one or two sessions and rather than the whole thing, that the hit that I got was just like Jocelyn says in her prayers, please give me what I need today, even though I have no idea that's what I need. I'm paraphrasing, that there may be a class here for you that has exactly what your soul, your heart is asking for, that you have no idea about right now, that is just in store for you if you're just willing to surrender. If you're feeling like you want to, just go ahead and surrender. There's going to be gifts for you that you don't even know that you need or that you want.
Yes, Annie, I love that. Thank you for bringing that up. That I'll share the prayer just so everybody can hear it. It's so this is an alchemical prayer, because when we do alchemy, we open ourselves up to much more than what we thought we needed, right? We have things we think we need or we think we need to get rid of or whatever, but there's a much bigger plan than we can ever know. So this is the alchemical prayer that I say. So it is universe, or you could say God, creator, divine presence, please send me all the things that I most deeply need that I do not even yet know are possible. And that is definitely what we're going to be doing in the Stargate. Opening up for that kind of abundance and beauty. Yes. Okay. Let's see what other questions we have here. Mel says, I'll be joining. Yay. Welcome, Mel. So glad to hear. Darlene says, I think Kathy can speak to this more. This reminds me of the sacred giving, and I am thanking all of you for your wisdom and generosity. Oh, thank you, Darlene. Beautiful. The collective garden. Yes. Okay. And Betsy says, that's why I joined. There were things discussed today that I'm not familiar with, so I'm really excited. Yeah, we're really trying to bring you quite a great breadth and also depth, breadth of all the different topics, many different perspectives, many different lineages of wisdom and types of teachers and approaches to how the information comes through, but taking a really beautiful deep dive into each one. And that's why we're spending a full month on every topic, so that you can really be in this and fully experience it and let it percolate and integrate on all the levels. So yes, thank you for that comment, Betsy. That is fantastic. Put that in the chat. Okay, the prayer, I'll put that in the chat in a minute. Ali says, that's what happened in the Aquarian Festival, more than I knew my soul needed. Yeah, when we open up, it's like when we say the sacred yes, right? We receive so much more than we thought was even possible. Barb will be joining. Yay, welcome, Barb. So glad. And Nancy will join. Yay. And yeah, absolutely. If you can't attend, so we're going to have the live calls. We're going to try to have them at all different times of day and different days of the week, so that I hope it will work for all of your schedules. Even if you're in a time zone that's very different than New York time where I am, I hope that you'll be able to attend plenty of the live calls still, because we'll alternate times and days of the week. So I hope you can attend a lot of them live, but there will always be the recordings if you're not able to do so. Okay, well, wonderful. Okay, MB is saying, can Kathy talk a little more about the womb and Annie about dance? Okay, I'm good with that. I think we need to end fairly soon, but that would be a wonderful note to end on. So would you like to share, Kathy, and then Annie?
I'm not exactly sure what she wants to know.
MB, do you have any specific question about the womb? But Kathy, you know intuitively anyway.
Okay, sure I do. So I guess what I would speak into, if I was going to speak into anything, is I tell women that the most powerful shamanic tool on the planet is the female body. We just don't know how to use it. And that, I mean, the female body is the body that houses the womb. And so when you think about just our physical apparatus, you know, we're the only ones on the planet that are open up at the top and open at the bottom. So our body creates this beautiful funnel of information. And, you know, the womb is so many things. I use the medicine wheel to teach it. If you think about what each of the elements do, the womb does the same thing. So the womb holds information. It holds things. It's magnetic. It draws the things that we hold, draws them right to us. And I'm trying to go around the circle. One of the things that we neglect or that we often misappropriate is the fire element. We can generate our own energy, and the womb does that. But we have a tendency as women to generate that energy for everyone else. And we always feel exhausted because we've bought into the masculine paradigm and that's the way we're supposed to be. So in our class, we'll be learning lots of tools and techniques to begin to shift that. And, you know, one of the things that I really want that I will stress is how we need to begin to do this so that we can be examples for our children. Because I have 2 adult daughters. One of them is in her 40s, the other one's in her 30s, that think this is just mom stuff. Still, you know, there's still, some of them are still on birth control. They're still doing things that really are harmful to the female body. And it's because I didn't have this information when they were little. So if we can begin to be examples for our girls, that's where we're going to shift this thing. And it's like, it's one thing for us to begin the practices. It's another one to impart it to the next generation. And that's what really needs to happen.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, Annie, go right ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to talk a bit about dance and movement. As I said earlier, and I feel through my own experience, the body is a gateway. In many ways, it tries to handle some of the psychic experiences that come to us. I think that's where, when we hold energy and we don't know how to circulate it or move it around, we get sick. The body is such a sacred instrument, and she loves us, or he loves us so much that he has, you know, she has committed to stay with us our whole lives. And when we put our bodies into motion, and when we attempt to get out of the way of the thinking mind, when we attempt to get out of the way of, I should move this way, or I should move that way, or, oh, I'm good at this, or, oh, I'm not good at this, and we allow our body to move, then we become a gateway, we become a vortex for other realms of ourselves, our more expanded self to come through, the expanse that we are in reality, our spirit, and the way we're connected to all things, and the way that the universe is us and we are the universe. And all that starts to happen as we put our bodies in motion. For myself, I've taught movement for 20 years, over 20 years. And many, many times in the process of dancing and moving and creating that space and teaching, I'll start to hear information just pour through me, just pour through, because I've created this space of dance. And so that's what we'll be doing in my session. And any other time you feel like putting on music and dancing, and letting your sacred self come through, your guides, your teachers, your master, your higher self has a space then to move in and speak to you in ways that you can't imagine until you begin it.
Actually, I'll just chime in and say that is one of the practices that we use. You know, it's like, it's the most ancient form of prayer that there is dance.
Beautiful.
So I love all that you're saying. It's just like, yes.
And I love how connected all the modalities are.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love how everybody's bringing their unique modalities, their unique perspective shifts, right? And it's going to be just such a cohesive, beautiful whole, such a holistic, blessing that we receive from all of these throughout the year. It's really exciting. So let's see. Cynthia has asked, Leslie, are there materials you suggest that we bring? And yeah, I'm sure there are. I think we shouldn't go into all that detail right now, but Cynthia, if you join the Stargate, then yeah, absolutely. We're going to tell you well in advance so you can purchase those materials. Is there anything else you wanted to say about that?
I would say, yeah, most likely it'll be acrylic paint. So you'll need acrylic paint, a variety of brushes. I'm not sure if we'll do it on watercolor, very, very heavy watercolor paper, and or a canvas. So I will provide a list for Jocelyn.
Yeah, we'll get that out to everybody around the last week of June or by the 1st of July to make sure you have plenty of time. So, yay. Well, I think we should close here. I just want to thank all of you panelists who have joined me here today. And yeah, it's been such a pleasure to share in this space with you. Wow, I wish we could have a party like this like every week, every month. It's so fun.
To me, man.
It's great.
Happy birthday to Kathy, right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Kathy. So glad we could have this.
This is a party we threw for you.
Right?
Yeah.
I sent out an email like that this morning. It's like, y'all come to my birthday party.
It'd be great if we could hear everybody and give you a little song.
I'm okay.
Goodness. But yes, and thank you also for those who have joined us live, who have been here on Zoom, who have been on YouTube live watching this, and for all those who will watch this as a recording, thank you for tuning in as well. And I really hope you'll all join us in the Stargate. I can't even fully fathom all the fun we're going to have, all the breakthroughs, revelations, transmissions that are going to come through. And I know I am so excited and hope you will also be excited and come join us and experience that adventure together. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, many blessings, everybody. Lots of love to all of you.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you for putting this together, for creating something so magnificent. Yeah, and inviting us. We're just honored to work with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Tayria. Yeah, I am so honored to work with all of you as well. Truly a pleasure. So yes, well, I hope to see all of you a week from today on the 17th in the first class that I'll be teaching in the Stargate. So until then, lots of